Hello, research family. This is Dr. Wilbert Mutoko, your research mentor, helping masters and PhD students to move from research stress to research smiles and success. Today, I bring you Thesis Defense Series, and we are looking at episode 1, Understanding the Thesis Defense Game. The goal is demystifying the thesis defense process to boost student confidence and understanding. The thesis defense is often misunderstood as a daunting battle, but in reality, it serves as a celebration of your research achievements. This is your moment to showcase your hard work and knowledge and to engage in meaningful dialogue with your examiners about your findings. So, we are going to look at the universal requirement for postgraduates, the duration of the defense, and of course, presentation and interaction. Every postgraduate student across universities all over the world and across Africa, from UNISA to the University of Nairobi, Makerere, University of Botswana, University of KwaZulu-Natal, is required to face a thesis or dissertation defense as part of their program. Somebody might be asking, what's the duration of the defense? Well, it depends on the university or the department, and it usually lasts between 30 to 60 minutes, allowing for an in depth examination of your research. Going on to look at the presentation and interaction. During the defense, students present their research findings, especially if it is a final defense. And you engage in a discussion with examiners responding to their questions and critiques. Now, let's look a bit at the types of thesis defense. We have the proposal defense, we have the final defense, and definitely, while looking at both of them, it's important for you to understand the objectives. You need to understand the proposal objectives. And then, if it is the final defense, the most important thing is to highlight your final findings. What is it that you found out? So, as we dwell on the proposal defense versus the final defense, let's look at the features. For the proposal defense, it's the what and the how, while the final defense is the so what. Right? Then we can look at the primary goal. The primary goal of the proposal defense is to get permission to begin the research, while the final defense is to get final approval for the completed degree. So, either way, you will still have to go through a PhD defense. Either you do a proposal at the beginning, proposal defense, and then at the end you do a final defense, which they call the viva. Let's look at your stance. With the proposal defense, your stance is that you are a planner and a proposer. While with the final defense, you are the world's leading expert on your specific topic. You have read so much, you have studied so much, you have done your research, you have your findings for the final defense. So you are the expert. Let's look at the core question. The core question for proposal defense is this research feasible, valuable, and well designed? And then for the final defense, the question is, did you succeed And does your work constitute an original contribution? Let's also look at the focus of the document. Focus of the document for the proposal or protocol, we are looking for the literature review, the research questions, the methodology, and of course, the proposed timeline. Now, for the thesis or the dissertation, which is the final defense, we are looking for the full results, discussion, conclusion, and contribution to knowledge. What else do we want to look for when we are comparing the two? Under the proposal, why is this question important? Why is your research question important? Have you considered X theory or Y method? While when we are looking at the final defense for your dissertation, we are saying, how do your findings challenge or support existing literature? Can you explain the unexpected results? You know, and going on to look at typical panel questions. For the proposal defense, they might ask you, what are the potential limitations of your approach? What if you don't find the results you expect? So it means you should have thought a bit about this. And then the panel questions for your dissertation, which is your final defense, you will expect things like, what are the broader implications of your work? How does this constitute an original contribution? You know, with PhD is a big thing. We want to know what's your contribution. Otherwise, don't do it. Then outcome is another aspect that we want to compare between the proposal defense and the final defense. For the proposal defense, we are expecting an outcome approval to proceed. Sometimes it can be provisionally approved with revisions to be done. And then, what is the outcome we are expecting for the final defense for your dissertation? Recommendation for award of degree. Under normal circumstance, PhD does not have marks. You are not told whether you got a distinction or what is it you got. But in my case, although they didn't tell me my marks, I got, what do we call it? The golden, how am I forgetting it? I got an award for my PhD dissertation. I think somebody knows about it. It's Golden What Award. I've forgotten it. Sorry about that. But anyway, yeah, with masters, you definitely get your result, first class, second class, and all that. But with PhD, I'm yet to hear any university that would tell you that you got a distinction or whatever for your PhD. Actually, with PhD, it's conferred on you. It means the committee has found you worthy to be given the PhD. Let's look at a helpful analogy of building a house. So when you are building a house, it's like the proposal defense where you are presenting the blueprints to the city council. You are showing the city council your plan. You need to convince the council that the house is needed, the design is sound, the materials are appropriate, and you have a realistic plan and budget to build it. So now the city council will approve it. That's the same thing with you going to the panel and convincing them that indeed, if I do this study, it's going to be successful. That's like your proposal defense. And then linking the final defense to the analogy of building a house, the final defense is giving the council a tour of the fully constructed and finished house. You show them the finished product, demonstrate that it was built according to plan, or explain and justify if there are any few changes, and argue that it's a valuable addition to the neighborhood. right? So your initial summary is the perfect elevator pitch for these two events. The details above just and the how and why behind each one. All right. So every PhD student has to do a proposal defense and a final defense. Common misconceptions. A prevalent myth is that the thesis defense is a high stakes interrogation where examiners seek to challenge and undermine students. But in reality, the defense is an opportunity for dialogue, allowing students to share their research and insights in a supportive academic environment. Recognizing this distinction can help alleviate anxiety and foster a more collaborative mindset. So don't think that they are there to kill you. The examiners are there to see if they can assist you to move to the next level. What examiners want, they want clarity, they want contribution, they want confidence. Okay? Those are the three things that they are looking for. So let's look a bit at clarity. It's important for you to be clear. This means you can explain your research in simple terms, justify your choices, navigate its complexities, all while being grounded in your specific context. So, for example, you need to justify your methodology. Instead of, I used surveys because they are standard, you should write or you should say, I chose a mixed methods approach. The quantitative surveys allowed me to gather data from 300 farmers across 3 districts efficiently. However, I complemented this with focus group discussions, da 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 da. You see, there should be clarity. Contribution. What does your study contribute? This is about proving your research is not just a repetition. For Africa, this often means moving beyond just identifying problems to offering context specific insights, solutions, or challenging dominant narratives. So, for instance, instead of my studies about youth unemployment, you could say, while much research frames African youth as a problem of unemployment, my findings reveal they are active agents of change. I documented how a group of graduates in Lagos created this. Confidence. You need to own your research. This is your study. You are the expert. This is about your presence and authority. It's not about being arrogant, but about being the undisputed expert in the room on your specific topic while respecting your supervisors and the process. Defense as a guided tour. Imagine your thesis as a carefully constructed house. You remember what I said earlier on? Real life, a student at Makerere initially perceived the thesis defense as a daunting challenge. However, after receiving coaching, she transformed her mindset and approach, presenting confidently and engagingly, which led the examiners to comment positively on the experience. Key takeaways: engage, don't confront. Treat the defense as an opportunity to share your expertise and knowledge rather than a confrontation. Your goal is to engage in meaningful dialogue with examiners, not to fight for approval. Own your research. When you present your research, do it with the confidence of someone who has mastered their content. This mindset shift will not only help you perform better, but also leave a positive impression on your examiners. Communicate value effectively. Remember that your defense is about communicating the value of your work. Focus on sharing your findings and their implications as if you are guiding your audience through a remarkable discovery. Challenge for today: as you prepare for your thesis defense, take a moment to articulate the significance of your research. Craft a clear and concise paragraph that highlights how your study contributes to existing knowledge and why it matters in your study or in your field. Conclusion. As we wrap up episode 1, remember that the thesis defense is not a battle, but an opportunity to showcase your research and insights with confidence. In episode 2, we'll delve into the art of structuring your 10-minute presentation to ensure you leave a lasting impression on your examiners. Thank you. I love you, Dr. Wilbert Mutoko.